It's Sunday, baby. Football, football, football. Yes, fantasy leagues. I did pretty good. But what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 16 of the weekly comic wrap up. I've got a awesome guest tonight that we will bring in very shortly. But before we do, just want to show you guys what's up and coming this week. So next Sunday, we've got DJ Links hopping on the channel, so do keep an eye out for that. That's going to be a great time. Can't wait to have him on. I said it last time, I'm going to say it again. This guy's got one of the nicest setups that I've ever seen on YouTube. He's in the top 3, that's for sure. So that's coming up next Sunday, so keep an eye out for that. But all right, let's bring in my guest because I don't want to keep him backstage for too long. We were actually chopping it up and found out some pretty cool things, man. Big things coming for Brian. So guys, without further ado, the man behind the comic book community awards, Brian, LCS. How's it going?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you hopping on. We were talking just now about some of the stuff that's up and coming for you. You're moving. Yes, you're moving.
That's yes. Yeah, big move in a couple weeks. We're moving, like I said, moving from New York to South Carolina. So,
yep, that's a big move. But speaking of the awards, one of the things I told you backstage is, first off, thank you for putting this together. I think it's pretty awesome, very neat. But I could only imagine, as much positive as there's that negative, right?
Oh yeah. I try not to listen to it,
Yeah.
but sometimes it just pops up. But
Yeah.
I try to take it with a grain of salt, and hopefully, I hope people are giving me feedback because they want things to be improved and not just complaining about things. So
Yep.
I try to take notes throughout the year and see what we can do, what we can do next year to improve it or tweak it to make it, obviously I'm not going to be able to make everybody happy, right, with the awards, but,
Ever.
we want, it's a community event. It's community driven. The community votes on it. So we want to make it as community friendly, as possible. So.
Yes, and I noticed that it was on Instagram, I believe, today that you put up a little poll there, right? Tell us about that one.
Yeah, so that's been one of the comments that one of the discussions that I've heard a few times now throughout this year. Somebody brought up, well, it shouldn't be community. The community shouldn't vote. It should be a committee of people that, and we have a committee in place that helped me with some of the categories. I have a committee of about 12 people, but I don't think that would be just having 12 people decide who's the best in each category.
Yeah.
I like the idea of just having it open to the entire community. Understandably, like not all of the community is aware of it, and we continue to grow each year. But I think we've already seen finalist voting last year. We've more than doubled what we had last year
Already.
So, yes, already, and we still have 2 months left in the finalist voting. So, I think we just continue to grow, and we'll hit the different pockets of the community. And I just don't like the idea of just a small group of people deciding the winners. I don't know if that's I just don't like that idea. I'd rather just have it as an open vote, open nomination. And people vote, for their favorites or, their friends or whatever it may be.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. I like the fact that it's open to the community to vote. And of course, guys, you vote for who you please. You've said that you've already surpassed more than double, right, from last year.
Yes,
And the voting's up until, I believe, November 10th, somewhere there.
November 18th.
There you go. Okay, so the 18th. So already that's pretty impressive. Shows you the growth within 1 year. So it's real cool.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. To see the growth, every year, more people getting involved and more people, getting behind it. It's been, it's been a positive thing so far.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, like I said, it's great. Definitely was a challenge. I could imagine coming out the gate. I believe it was last year, right? It was the first time.
2 years. So now this is our 3rd year. Yeah. So a little bit, right? I mean, I didn't anticipate the negative reaction to it.
Yeah.
and maybe that was just kind of me being naive about it or just overlooking that, but I was surprised that there was some pretty strong negative reaction to it, because the way I look at it is it's we're celebrating the community,
Yeah.
and overall it's a pretty good community. It's a
Yeah.
very generous community, with giveaways and AOKs, and we all have that common like of comic books, whether we
Yep.
like DC, Marvel, indies, but there's different flavors, but we all like collecting comic books, and like I said, generally it's a friendly group, it's a good group. So I was surprised that people would kind of take it negatively, but you
Yeah.
know, not everybody likes awards, so I,
No.
I, I can see that.
Yeah. Well, look, no matter what you do in life, there's always people who are going to be happy, people who won't be happy.
Oh,
But
sure, yeah.
like I said, the growth has been pretty cool to see, right? I've seen it within the last year. Now you're telling us as well that it's doubled just on the voting side. So it's cool. I like the fact that the community comes together, and I've learned of many channels because of the Comic Book Community Awards. So that's a big thank you to you for doing that, putting people in the spotlight. I think that's awesome. Now, one question I have before we get started, everything we have going on within the Comic Book Community Awards right now does circulate around the content creators. Do you ever think sometimes of maybe including some of the actual product that's being put out? Let's say best artist of the year for comics, best story of the year or so forth.
Yeah, I mean, we've kicked that idea around a little bit. Yeah, I think it's hard to narrow the five finalists in that category. Maybe if you had
Yeah,
an artist or a writer, or maybe you even divided it up between interior arts and cover artist, because there's just so many talented people, similar to the YouTube community, right? There's so many great channels, so many people that do different things. You mentioned like DJ Links with his
yep,
setup earlier, and
yep,
he's a great editor, and he does, and his room, that was a category that some people had talked about, maybe adding best, like setup or room. So yeah, we've kicked around that idea, but I like the idea of just keeping it within the community itself, right? We have the Ringo Awards for the
yeah,
the official awards for the comic book creators. So
yep,
I like the idea of just recognizing the community,
yeah.
our community. So
I feel like I stand no chance if we have a best display award because if here I am in
yeah,
the hall.
I'm hoping when we move, I can upgrade mine a little bit, other than having random Spider-Man stuff behind me.
Yeah. But all right, let's get into the fun stuff of this week's show. So definitely we're gonna go through some of the FOC picks of the week. There's also the market report, which had some pretty impressive books. In fact, I think this week's list had a lot of big books on there that it was I want to say a superstar list, if we can say, when it comes to the top tens, but and of course some hot topics. But before we get into any of that, let's say hello to the chat. We got Michael Baker in the house here at 350 already tailgating, so I appreciate him. We have Neighbor to the North. Appreciate him coming by. Neighbor to the North, I saw you in the chat, and I gave you a blue wrench, sir, so you are officially a blue wrenchman. Comic Sheik's in the house. Definitely go check him out on his channel as well. Maybe he'll be up for best new channel next year. He just launched his own as well. Who else we got? We've got Constantino BC. Yes, my brother out west in Canada, fellow Italian, as you can see. So appreciate you coming by. Spinetix in the house. Spinetix is everywhere, and Spinetix is crushing it every Saturday night. So definitely check them out. I still got to catch the rewind because I was at a wedding yesterday, but
They just hit 10K too last night.
exactly. Yep, that's what I was gonna
Congrats.
say.
Yeah.
10,000 subscribers. So big shout out to Spinetix. The crew's crushing it, and I greatly appreciate them putting out some great content. Who else we got? I got Cliff on comics. Yeah, I saw him on Durz's panel today, so that was pretty cool. It was nice to see him. I've never seen him on a panel, so that was the first time.
Oh,
But
nice.
yeah, great job there. Who else we got? We got What Can I Say? Yeah, man. Hey guys, appreciate you coming by. Hyper's in the house, brother BC in chat. What's up? Appreciate him coming by. Hyper and I are going to be collaborating very soon, so we'll be letting you guys in on a little something soon. Brian LCS in the chat and on the panel. Greatly appreciate that. Just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Dan Delatorre. Dan was here for the 250 subscriber giveaway.
Oh,
That was a fun show. He donated the $50 eBay gift card, and of course, all of the stuff that was won on Wednesday night is being shipped out tomorrow Tuesday, the latest, for one of those winners that live in the United States. So I gotta print that label. Win is in the house, so Win, thank you for coming by. Jules, my brother, yes, you should be up for an award next year. Probably a Grammy. E-Man's World of Geek is in the house, so thank you for coming by. I think I got pretty much everybody. If I missed anyone, oh, hold on, Pacino. Yes, Pacino's in the house. My brother kicked off this channel with me on episode 1. We came back on episode 3. We got to get him back very soon. So Pacino, expect that call very soon. Chia Pet's in the house. Chia Pet and I went head to head today in our fantasy football pool. I annihilated the poor man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So yeah, I think we got pretty. Oh no, JF's in the house. JF, man, thank you so much for swinging by, brother. Comic Ozzy's in the house, dude. Guy's always posting some crazy books. I don't know if you guys follow him on Instagram, but seeing some multiples of key books there, sir. Awesome stuff. DJ Lynx, like I said, is going to be here next Sunday. So come and join us at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Don't miss it. Like I said, guy's got one of the best displays behind him. So
yeah, I'm glad I'm on before DJ shows up. Yeah.
I'm going to be amazed. It's like I might stop talking at certain points, checking out what's going on behind him. But yeah, man. So I think we got everybody. Now let's get into the fun stuff. Like I said, we're going to kick it off with the FOC picks of the week. So Brian, like I ask everybody every week, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Alright, so it's the FOC picks of the week. And of course, guys, if you haven't yet, go and visit comicnation.us. Get those FOC orders in because you are still in time to get your orders in. And don't forget to use Blakk Crown as the discount code for an additional 5% off, totaling your discount to 20% off the cover price. So not bad. And guys, just so you know, that Spider-Boy book, #1, Comic Nation has it up at $2.99, and it is a $5.99 US book. So go get them. All right, let's visit the first book. Up first, we've got Batman and Robin #2. This is the cover A, first full appearance and cover of Shush. Yes, I know. Shush. Hush. It is what it is, guys, but this is what they're rolling with. So this is a suggestion from Lefteros, one that I will be picking up. Brian, are you picking up this or?
I did pick up the first issue. I haven't read it yet, but yeah, I'll probably continue with it.
Yeah, I got the first issue as well. This one here, I don't think I submitted it in my order yet, so I got to go back to make sure I order it. So. And of course, up next, what do we got? We've got Green Lantern #4. Now, I've been slacking on Green Lantern, but apparently here is the first appearance of Sinsin, son of Sinestro. So pretty cool there. Definitely one possibly worth picking up based off of speculation. So, Yep. And moving on from that, we've got Miles Morales, Spider-Man #11. This is the debut of Miles' Vampire Hunter costume. Now, I saw the design. I don't know if you saw it yet, Brian.
I have not.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I don't know if you heard, Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation is going to be coming out very shortly. And
Yes.
Amongst the two Spider-Man, they're talking there's going to be 65 costumes. So who knows? Maybe this one pops in as a DLC. Maybe it's already there. I have no idea, but we shall see. Are you reading any of the Miles? Or?
Yes, yeah. This has been, Cody Ziegler's been killing this. This has been a great story. I like it because it's kind of it reminds me of a young Peter Parker, like trying to figure out how to be Spider-Man, being a superhero and dealing with all the other things in his life. And Miles is kind of going through the same thing, the growing pains of being a superhero. So I've really enjoyed it so far.
Yeah, no, it's great. I'm equally enjoying it. But another pick, it's Jeff #1. I don't know if you saw this. This one's going to third printing, and the third printing of One Shot, originally published over 6 months ago. So just to give you an idea, right, of how long the gap has been, but still, they're pumping out some prints for this one, and we're at the third print now. So pretty cool.
Yeah, that was not one I picked up. There was definitely some fun covers in the first and second printing, but not one I jumped in on.
Yeah. Before I move on to the next book, just want to give a quick shout out to Durs. Durs is in the house. He was just live a little earlier, so definitely go catch that replay. I appreciate you swinging by, brother. All right. Next book, I think, is one of the best covers on FOC this week. It's up there, but there's another one that I really like. But Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy #1. This is the second printing of the Negative Space cover. This is obviously of Thanos. John Tyler Christopher absolutely killed it. Now the paper quality on the first print was terrible. Um, I had been asked what the paper quality was while I was live on stream. I kind of opened it up, seemed okay, but then after, as I was reading it, I was like, Jesus, this is horrible. Now I hope this one gets they justify and come up with some better quality for the second printing, because this is a beautiful cover.
Yeah, that's a great looking cover. Yeah, I like the it's negative space in space.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even think of that one. You're beating me at dad jokes tonight. But yeah, no, I think this is an absolutely beautiful cover. I hope they do it some justice and definitely put it on some great quality paper. Now,
Yeah, because Marvel, some of their recent even foils have been not so you take them out of the bag and board and they're like they get wavy.
yes, yep, exactly. It happened to one of my Incredible Hulk. It was the 181 foil. I ordered quite a few, luckily, so I still have some other contenders, but regardless, stop doing this, Marvel. All right, moving on from this one. We've got Spider-Boy #1. Yes, I guess we could say big book. And like I said earlier, it's a $5.99 US cover price, so it's pretty up there. It hurts the wallet for us Canadians. That's like $8.50 approximately Canadian. But yeah, just Spider-Boy 1, all the hype. I don't know how you feel about Spider-Boy 1. Sorry, about Spider-Boy in general.
It was a good introduction. I don't understand the hype behind it because we did get a few introductions of some other rec rap and a few other characters, but the Spider Boy, this character's just gone nuts.
Yeah, completely took off Thanos with the red Terminator eye. Yeah, on the other cover. Uncanny Swag. Appreciate you coming to swing by, bro. Congrats to you and the crew again for the 10,000 subscribers, man. But yeah, no. So Spider Boy is definitely getting a lot of love. I, for one, actually think the character's got a lot of potential. Easily the biggest characters come out of 2023. But this book comes with a few covers available on FOC, and you're getting the first appearance of Gutterball. Now I saw the design. It's kind of weird. Did you see it?
I did.
Yeah,
It's like shooting
bowling pins.
bowling pins. Yeah, yeah.
So I guess there's they want to target the younger crowd, and that's totally fine. Now, again, like I said, many covers available for this one, so I'm gonna pick up quite a few. I think, I'll be honest, I think I ordered at least 12 copies. So
Oh wow. Okay.
yep,
Yeah, yeah.
there you
I
go.
saw it. Yeah, Dan Slott posted a bunch of the covers on Instagram over the
Yep,
weekend. So
yeah. But all right, moving on from Spider Boy, you got Dwellings #2 over here. Now, this is the cover rate. It's the second issue of a 3-part miniseries that collects Jay Stevens' crowdfunded series. Issue #1 did relatively well on the secondary market, and this is a $9.99 US cover price as well. So,
wow.
yeah, I picked up #1. I didn't get a chance to fully read it yet. I did start it up, but I'll be most likely picking this one up as well. Did you get a chance to read this, or?
No, not a book that was on my radar at all.
Yeah. Yeah, you just got to scroll down and keep scrolling on previous world. So, but all right, moving on from this, other picks that we were talking about, of course, Spider Boy #1. This is the Scotty Young variant. That's what I was saying. I think this is a real cool, neat cover. I'm picking a few up for the kids as well. I think my son's already starting to ask questions about Spider Boy. He's only 4, and he's like, "Is
Oh
this
wow.
not?" He's like, "This is not Spider Man." I'm like, "No, it's Spider Boy." So he's he's trying to understand what's going on, but he's huge on Miles and of course Spider Man. So seeing this new character definitely piqued his interest. So they're doing something right at Marvel. And you've got spine tingling Spider Man. So this is issue #1. Again, another Scotty Young cover. Are you a Scotty Young fan?
I am. I
Yeah.
do like his work. I don't always pick up his covers. I try to grab the Spider-Man. Spider-Man's my character, so I try to pick up the Spider-Man Scotty
Yeah.
Young. So yeah.
Yep. And of course, guys, that is the FOC picks of the week. And like I was saying, you can support Lefteros by following Comic Nation US. Go visit their website at comicnation.us. And don't forget to use the discount code of Blakk Crown right there that you see on the screen so you can get an additional 5%, totaling your discount to 20%. And as I mentioned, I think it's the lowest price I've seen so far when it comes to Spider-Boy 1. It's a $2.99 book. So if you guys want to get crazy like I did and order 12 copies, feel free. All right.
Yeah, if
So
you're going to
now,
order 12 copies, you want to save some money.
yeah, no, I'm definitely not paying $5.99 for 12 copies. But yeah, those were the FOC picks of the week. Now, like I was saying at the beginning, Market Report had a all-star list, in my opinion. So Cover Price top 10 had the all-star list. If I got, if you're asking me, I think it was pretty impressive. But did you get a chance to take a look at them?
I looked at the books that you sent over.
Yep.
Yeah, so I
You
kind
saw
of
them?
went through those. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say there's a lot of heat behind this one?
Oh yeah, yeah. There was a couple interesting ones though, like the Spectacular Spider-Man that we were talking about. I was,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We will get into that very shortly, but I got to ask you, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Right, the fun stuff. So, Market Report, like I was saying, quite a few big books on the list. So, let's kick it off with the first one. You got this never-ending appearance on the top 10 list of Spider-Man 2099. Number one, yes, Origin of Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara. But check this, a CGC 98 sold for $237.83 Canadian on September 12th, 2023, and near mint face market value is holding up at 18 US, which again, still mind-blowing because I've seen this in dollar bins for so many years, and here we are
Oh yeah,
coming in, yeah, at number 8 on Cover Price. I gotta ask now, do you have one?
I do. I do.
Do you have
Yes.
100?
No, I think I have. I know I have one, maybe two copies.
There you go. But yeah, what do you think of this sale?
I mean, we've seen him. We've seen the character, right, in animated form. Maybe it's still a speculation that we'll see him in live action at some point, right? I
Yep.
think, and we still have part 2 of the Spider-Verse movie coming out next year. So yeah, I can see people wanting to jump in on this.
Yeah, definitely the hype has been there since the Spider-Man, what's it called? Across the Universe or Across the Spider-Verse, sorry.
Across the Spider-Verse, yeah.
Yeah, I mix it up with the first one and the second one every now and then. But
yeah, I'm drawing a blank on what the third one's called, but
yeah, same. But I know that that one got pushed, and we're not going to be seeing it at the expected date of March 2024. So when it comes out, we shall see. We shall see. Lots of stuff being pushed with all these, strikes going on and so forth. So
yes.
yeah. But all right, moving on from Spider-Man 2099, I found this to be a very interesting book to make the list, and it's a very good book. I've actually read this. I don't know if you had the opportunity to, but it's The Crow, Flesh and Blood, number 1, first appearance of Iris Shaw. CGC 98 sold for $225 US, number 7 on Cover Price. I love Iris Shaw. Of course, everyone thinks of The Crow, they think of Brandon Lee, right?
Right, sure.
Yeah, but Iris Shaw was resurrected by the Crow as well, and she's, coming with vengeance, baby, coming with vengeance, and it's over the fact she was carrying at the time she died, right?
Yes,
So,
yeah, I read that. Yeah, I
so-
did. I haven't read this story, and this is what, a 3-issue? Was this like a limited series, right? I think.
yeah, well, there's quite a few issues. I don't remember the exact number of how many
Okay.
issues, but that was the story of Iris Shaw.
And the speculation is that she'll be in the movie, right? The reboot.
Exactly. So the reboot has been spoken about for so long, right?
Yes.
And now there is talks that we're looking towards production having been wrapped up. So hopeful for next year, I guess we'll say hopeful. But yeah, there was talks about her being in the movie. So I think that's pretty interesting and definitely what caused the spike in the book. All right, moving on from this one. I could see Michael Baker celebrating already, but it came in at number 1 on Cover Price. Spawn number 1, first appearance of Spawn, Al Simmons, and CGC 98 sold for $160. Near mint face market value is $30. And this book is relentless. I think it's going to be on Cover Price's top 10 list for God knows how long.
A lot of copies out there, right?
Yep.
This was heavily printed for sure. So,
Yep. There you go. This guy's saying no. No. His favorite book, favorite character. And Michael Baker, I got to say, absolutely I'm impressed with his collection. If you're not following him on Instagram, go check him out. 95 Baker is his Instagram handle. Guy carries nothing but 9/8 in any book he posts. I don't understand how he pulls it off. But all right, moving on from Spawn number 1, the Infinity Gauntlet. I think this was interesting to see, but check this. Issue number 1, George Perez greatness, of course. CGC 98 is $200, but check this newsstand sale of a signature series, $2,129.01. That was on September 12th, 2023. Those are big numbers, very impressive numbers. Came in at number 13 on Cover Price.
Yeah, that is. And so that was obviously a Perez signed copy.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep. But I guess those newsstands are clearly sought out after, as you can see right here. And of course, being a signed copy, got some good coin right here.
Yeah, that's a big difference between, a non-signature book, $200 to $2,100.
Yep, exactly. But another book that was pretty impressive, X-Men number 4, keeps making its way back. It's like Omega Red gets love and then gets no love for quite a few weeks, maybe months, but back on the list, coming in at number 16 on Cover Price. First appearance of Omega Red. CGC 98 sold for $279.99 US, and the near mint face market value is $31. Again, another book that is pretty impressive to see, still holding some of these numbers. Omega Red, I think, is just a fan favorite at this point. Speculation has come and gone for many situations here, but it's very interesting to see on the list.
Yeah.
Do you have a copy?
I wonder what's. I did. I think I sold my copy. But I wonder what's driving it. What's driving it now. These days, we haven't really heard much. Obviously with some of the production shut down and things, we haven't really, other than Deadpool, we haven't really heard any talk about the X-Men.
Yeah, I'm not too sure exactly what may have caused the spike. I don't know if it's the X-Men reboot, not reboot, but the 94 series, the animation that's coming. So many things could be the reason. But regardless of the fact, I think it's pretty interesting that he's back on the list. All right, moving on to the next book. I had 2 copies of these in a CGC 98, just FYI. They sold long ago, but Moon Knight number 1, first appearance of Raoul Bushman. CGC 98, $275. VF face market value is $21, coming in at number 18 on Cover Price. And I'll give you guys a little insider information. When I sold those the CGC 98s, it was at the peak of the hype, right? When we got the Moon Knight series, and those sold Canadian for $600. So,
oh wow,
yeah, interesting to see it back on the list, but it's clear that it took a little bit of a drop, right?
Oh sure, yeah. Now I wonder what's driving this too, right? Because I thought Disney confirmed they're not bringing back Moon Knight for a second season, right?
So what's going on, which is something we'll talk about a little bit in the Hot Topics portion of tonight, but we have heard that a certain character here is going to be dying. So maybe that's what caused it. We shall see. But yeah, sell. Everyone's saying sell. C Bizzle's in the house. Yes, man. Appreciate you swinging by. Brian, you and I were talking a little bit backstage about C Bizzle, and a quick shout out to him because he's also nominated for the best new channel, right? So definitely check him out. There's Madam Blaster. Remind me the other 2.
Chris Loves Comics and Manny the Hobgoblin Collector.
There you go. I knew I was gonna blank. Terrible. But yes, shout out to all of them guys. Definitely go sub up, check them all out, and of course, always vote for whoever you want to vote for. But yeah, man. So appreciate you swinging by. All right, moving on from this. Uncanny X-Men 266, another book that tends to hold simply. I don't know. Again, if it's due to Deadpool 3 rumors, Channing Tatum, and so forth. But that's clearly not the first appearance of Raoul Bushman. We all know that it's the
Gambit.
second appearance of Gambit. I'm kidding. However you feel, first or second appearance, whatever it may be. But CGC 98, $660. Very impressive numbers, and a near mid face market value of 150 US. Coming in at number 19 on cover price. I gotta ask you, Brian. I was just making a joke about first or second appearance. What's your strong belief? I know the market's decided, but what's your strong belief?
I mean, I think there's so many appearances that you could debate, right? But I think when you have a full, somebody in full character, on a page, that's their first appearance, right?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. So,
But
I
this book has been, people have been talking about this book for a while now. It seems to be, a lot of people are always have this book.
yeah. Well, I can tell you that I actually don't own this in my collection.
I don't either, but yeah.
Yeah, but no, it's a book that's definitely constantly being brought up, and it's been holding its own on the list, always making its way there. Um, Neighbor to the North is saying that the X-Men Annual 14 is clearly the first appearance. No Hulk 180 questions. The world's been divided for a long time already based on that one. But all right, moving on from this. Yes, I couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier. Game Boy One. I'm a huge lover of gaming books when it comes to comics. I actually just picked up a cool book, which I'll show you guys within the next week. But CGC 98 of Game Boy number one sold for $500 on September 10th, 2023. It was a cover price shaker, and that's pretty impressive. I also want to shout out Newbie Comics for selling me this book at $40 Canadian. Thank you.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. But it's cool. Do you have any of the
No,
original?
when you this is the first time I've seen this cover. I didn't even know
Oh,
this was a thing.
yeah,
I've seen the Super Mario Brothers cover. That one has been obviously the movie earlier in the year. That one was on some of the top 10 lists. But yeah, this Game Boy cover never didn't even know it was a title.
yeah. Well, there's also a Game Boy number two and so forth. That was. I was happy to see this one on the list. Like I said, not because I own the copy, but anytime I see video game books, I'm a sucker for them. It is what it is. But all right, moving on from this one. Now you spoke briefly about this. I think this is real neat. But right before we got into talking about some of the market report, Spectacular Spider-Man 145 is the book you mentioned, and this is very interesting because this is a J.C. Penney variant. Yeah, do you remember? I could hear the J.C. Penney jingle because of the commercial, right?
And
Grew
I
up
didn't
with
even know. I didn't know J.C. Penney's did a reprint of this. I know they did some reprints of some Silver Age books
yeah,
in the mid '80s. I recently stumbled across them at a show and wasn't sure exactly what they were, and then found out later on that they were, J.C. Penney reprints. So,
yeah.
yeah, this one surprised me.
Yeah, no, same. Before we talk any further on it, though, I just want to say a quick hello to Lefteros who popped in. I saw some other people popping in. Obviously, we caught Bizzle. North 49 is here, so thank you guys for all swinging by. If I missed anybody, I apologize. Multitasking here, but appreciate all of you. Now, the J.C. Penney variant, of course, the way to tell right away is you can see by the little corner box at the bottom left that it's pretty much like that ASM 301 looking thing,
Right. Yeah.
with
Okay.
with the 30th anniversary. So it's I mean it's a book I've seen in dollar bins for the longest time. I'm pretty sure they're still there. I don't even pay attention to this book anymore, but definitely piqued my interest to go back to check. Do I even own one of those copies? I'm not too sure, right? So I got to go back and check in my box because I have a few of these. But yeah, very interesting. I didn't even know JC Penney did this, and like you said, JC Penney was doing it for other books as well, right?
Yeah. This one is this. Now I want to go look because I know I have this cover. Now I got to go see if I actually have the J.C. Penney variant.
Yeah. Now Again, JCPenney variant sold for a pretty impressive coin here at a CGC 98, $608.29 Canadian. That is not chump change, especially for a book that I've seen in dollar bins for the longest time. It's probably
Yeah, and I
it's
don't
only
think there's any, there's no first appearance. This isn't a key for it. There's nothing special about the book.
yep. Exactly. So very interesting to see. I believe the way they were distributing these was cataloging, right? So like it was being mailed to people. It wasn't something you could just walk into a JC Penney and pick up. That's what I understood. So
Okay.
yeah, pretty cool. I had no idea this even existed. I didn't even know JC Penney made comics, but that's why I wanted to make sure we shed some light on this one because that was pretty cool to see. All
Yeah,
right.
that's a new one for sure.
Yeah. Now moving on from that, we've got Batman 655. Now this was obviously a ratio, but this also is a misprint. That's right. So here we get the cameo appearance of Damian Wayne, but the cover is not supposed to be that purplish looking cover that you see right there. That's right. This is an error copy. So CGC 9.6 of this sold for 1,700 US dollars, and this is a cover price shaker. Brian, I don't know if you're into collecting those error prints or I don't know, like these little niche. um,
No, no, not really. I mean, I have enough other stuff I want to collect, so
yeah,
I haven't gone down that rabbit hole.
yeah, but 1,700 US dollars, and this is not a 9.8. This is a CGC 9.6.
Yeah,
Pretty
wow.
impressive coin right here. Now there is speculation when it comes to Damian Wayne. We know that there's some future projects coming under James Gunn, but how do you feel about this price for this book?
I mean, I guess that seems pretty high for the, but um, I wonder how many copies are out there in this state. So sometimes scarcity of an error may drive drive the price.
Yeah. Well, I think it's pretty impressive for a CGC 9.6. That's some pretty big coin. Now, you said you're a Spider-Man fan. I gotta ask you, this man, how do you feel about him?
I think he's great. I enjoy reading him, and I think you mentioned it, right. Your 4-year
Yep.
old son, he's into Miles and the video game too, right? There's so many young kids who have now know Spider-Man through Miles Morales because of the video game series. So I think it's great. I think
Yeah.
there's certainly room for two Spider-Men.
Yep.
Um, I think Marvel needs to finally embrace this and maybe make Peter Parker grow up a little bit, maybe, and move on to some of the things he's been dealing with for the last 60 years.
Yeah, we're gonna be seeing a cool little twist when it comes to Peter Parker right now within the comics. I don't know if you're fully up to date with him and the whole Goblin
Yes,
stuff that's going on, so that's pretty
yes, yes.
interesting. But I totally agree with you. Yes, first appearance of Miles Morales in Ultimate Fallout 4, CGC 9.8 sold for 1,699 US dollars and a near mint face market value at 432 US dollars, coming in at number 5 on cover price. Miles Morales, like you were just saying, in my opinion, right now, especially for today's time, the younger crowd, and so forth, I think Miles Morales is already pretty much at the forefront, very big within pop culture. Go to any Comic Con, you see several people dressed up as Miles Morales. So this is not a bad buy. But another book is this variant right here. Now I'm going to botch this name. I'm going to say it's Jurjovic. We'll leave it at that.
That sounds
But
good. Yeah.
yep, of course, first appearance of Miles Morales. But check this: the CGC 9.8 of this book sold for 19,200 US dollars on September 14th, 2023. This one is going out to Baker because it is a Baker shaker. He notified me, hit me up in my DMs, and said, "Hey, BC, you got to check this out. Look at this sale." It's come a little bit down since the pandemic, right? Because pandemic numbers, we were seeing this way over in the 20s, borderline 30s, from what I remember. So just to give you an idea of where this book holds, personally, I don't think I'd be spending this coin for this. I don't know how you feel.
No, I would much. I mean, I think again, this is one of those because there's just not many There's not many of printed of these variant covers.
Yeah,
The
it's
scarcity thing with this, but
mhm.
I mean, I'd rather take the $19,000 and go buy the A cover, a bunch of the A covers.
Yeah, you would stock up on several of them, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
there, there you go. We've got Bobby Catalano in the house, so appreciate you coming by. Phil's in the house. Phil, it's been a while, man. It's chasing squirrels for sure. I know that's what he's doing. But yes, no, Miles Morales. This is a great book, but it's come down just a little bit since the pandemic. So I'm curious, definitely always keeping an eye out on this variant, and clearly Michael Baker is, because this week it's a Baker shaker. So there you have it. All right,
Very good.
not bad, Brian. That was
Yeah.
quick run through of the markets right there.
And I double checked. I don't own the J.C. Penney's variant of the Spectacular Spider-Man 145.
Did you catalog it right within whatever application you're using?
I hope I did. I'll have to go check the physical book and see.
Yeah. Now, while we're on the phone, it's very important because, guys, yes, it is football, and Miami's up against the Patriots 17-3 right now. So, for those of you within fantasy pools, that's your update.
Yes. Tyreek Hill just scored a touchdown.
Of course he did. Of course he did. The guy is a machine. But all right. One last thing we got to do before we go is discuss some of the hot topics of this week. So, for the last time, Brian, I'm going to ask you, are you ready?
All ready.
Let's do it. All right, so we briefly touched on some hot topics at the beginning of this show. You mentioned, well, not the beginning, sorry, during Market Report, you mentioned a little something. So we'll get into that. And of course, some other fun things were just, came out this week. So let's hop right into it. Luckily, it was the first thing you brought up. So here we go. First slide. Marvel announces a new Moon Knight series. That's right. Mark Spector's last days as the vengeful avatar of Khonshu are near. Marvel Comics announced Vengeance of the Moon Knight #1. A stunning rebirth of the Moon Knight mantle. So there you go. Looks like we're getting something new here. And the rise of a new Crescent Crusader. McKay and Capuccio will wind down the last days and the final hours of Mark Spector starting in October's Moon Knight 28. The first in a 3-part storyline pitting Spector against the Black Spectre before the night falls in December's Moon Knight issue 30. So it's been put out there that apparently Mark Spector is going to disappear, fade away. Is he going to die? Is he going to, have another character in his head? I don't know what is going on, but the design is very neat. Now, a lot of people are already comparing this design to Spawn. And I can see that within the mask, right? Like, I don't know if you get the Spawn vibes.
Oh yeah, yeah. So when I saw the cover, I think I saw somebody posted it up on Instagram, and that was some of the chat about it was Spawn. Definitely some Spawn vibes.
Yep, no, 100%. But what are your thoughts about this? Now, see, Chiapette's pretty much on the ball, saying it's going to be a new personality.
Yeah, that's kind of the rumor that I've heard too, that it's probably going to, most likely be another personality. Because right, we're just talking about Mark Spector here. We're not talking about his other, personalities being, gone.
Exactly. But I wonder if it's going to be one of those where he wipes out Mark Spector completely, right? So pretty interesting.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, the Moon Knight, this current run of Moon Knight has been very, very good. I've been reading it and enjoying it. We do have Hunter's Moon too, so I wonder how they're going to handle that all.
Yeah. Hyper, you just broke me with this comment, but don't worry, if Mark Spector dies, he'll be revealed 3 weeks later that he's a mutant. Yeah, he's gonna resurrect and all of that fun stuff, Miss Marvel. But yeah, no, I'm actually pretty pumped about this, and clearly C-Bizzle in the house here is saying that he's calling up his shop and definitely gonna order himself a copy on pre-order. Definitely do so, man. I think this is a cool approach. It's something refreshing, so I'm looking forward to it.
And Jed McKay, right? He's continuing to write it.
Yep, yeah, okay. Exactly. All right, moving on from this though. Yeah, Rob Liefeld has something to get off his chest. I think this was brilliant. I'm just gonna put it out there out the gate. But yeah, we're getting an actual cover of this image. Yes, he's homaged himself in a very genius way. He tucked in the stomach just a little bit. But Rob Liefeld is going to be putting these out at New York Comic Con, which is coming up within a month's time from now, and it's going to be available at the Whatnot booth. So I I think this is hilarious. I don't know. What did you think of this when you heard about it?
Yeah, I actually saw on Instagram a side by side of the original, Captain America Steve Rogers with
Yeah.
this cover,
Yeah.
and it was funny. It's funny because so many people know that cover and look at that cover and say, "What is going on with that cover?" And so to poke fun at himself and redo it like this, I think is great.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly it. Is the fact that he's embraced it, right? Because I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't think you can really do it any other way, right? I think you got to kind of jump on board because I don't think there's really any. You can't defend it.
yeah. Well, look, let's be honest here. When Heroes Reborn had come out within the 90s, right? All of that stuff. There's been a lot of questionable Liefeld covers. Captain America 1 being one of them. I think that
Oh
was
yeah.
very, very questionable with the head that was floating in the middle of the cover. But yeah, man. So props to him for embracing it, and I think it's an awesome idea to put this out as an homage cover to that picture. And yeah,
Do you know if are they limiting copies? Because I can see this being selling out at New York Comic Con for sure.
I haven't heard anything about the actual print run on it, but I would imagine they would go that route. I think it would probably be smarter and definitely drive up value, especially on the secondary market. I could see a lot
No,
of
sure.
people flocking to this. I'm more of a trade guy, but yeah, we'll see. I'm seeing a Virgin cover and I'm seeing a trade, so I figure it might be one of those type of exclusives that are limited. But all right, moving on from this. I'm curious to see what the chat here is going to say about this. But what if season 2 is rumored to feature a full-length musical episode? Yes, and apparently the way it was described within the article, which I believe was with comic books it was comicbook.com. I had read that the way they're going about this is it's going to be a Wanda episode, right? What if Wanda had watched something totally different rather than sitcoms? So let's say she watched musicals. So I guess we're going to see what kind of a world that would be around
Okay.
Wanda. I personally, myself, ironically, I'm a musician, was a musician, and I love music. Music is a huge, important part of my life, but I just can't digest musicals, especially when it's a full length musical. I don't know why. I don't know why, but yeah, I don't know. Look, I'm a bit whatever about this. Luckily, What If is, got its own episodes dedicated to certain topics, dedicated to certain events and so forth. So if it's gonna be a one episode thing, I don't think it's something worthy of getting so upset about. But what's your thoughts?
Well, I think, if you're going to take a chance on doing something like this is probably an animated series is probably a good place to do it.
Yeah.
And I like the What If, the first season of What If. I thought it was done really well. Um, and I think, the fact that Steve Rogers, the musical, the clips that we've seen at the end of the after credit scenes, and the fact that they have it now at one of the Disney parks, and people seem to like it. So I
Yep.
guess there's an audience for it. But
Yes.
yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I enjoy music, but I'm not a big fan of watching a full length musical.
Yeah.
Generally, not something I want to watch.
It's funny you mentioned the Steve Rogers musical because, of course, here in the chat is Sith Lordly from Spinetix, and he highly praised the musical. I'm not gonna lie, it looked real neat. A lot of the animation there is pretty cool. Even when Captain America, you know, evolves into Captain America, that was pretty impressive. I saw the video by Miss Sith Lordly, and of course by Sith himself, but yeah, I don't know, man. Musicals for me, especially Joker 2. Now, Joker 2 is a whole other topic, but we can touch on it briefly with Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn and so forth. Were you a fan of Joker number 1 with Joaquin Phoenix?
I did. I thought it was. I liked it. I thought it was a different take. We obviously have seen some pretty high profile Jokers. So,
Yeah.
it was definitely a different take on the character. So
Yeah.
That's what I kind of found interesting, that it wasn't kind of recycled, recycled Joker storyline. So,
Yeah.
but
No,
yeah,
exactly.
that'll be interesting to see if it that. I mean, obviously they have Lady Gaga as a singer, um, but that I don't know. That'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah, the Joker too. I'm way more skeptical about this one here. It's not that I'm skeptical at all, and in fact, I agree with Chip at 100%. This is a what if series, and obviously have fun with this. It's a 30-minute cartoon,
Right.
so
Sure.
make of it what it is.
Right. It's not
Now,
like an investment where you go into the movies and spending a lot more money. You're watching this at home on Disney Plus, and
yeah,
yeah, if you don't like it, you lose 22 minutes of your life, and you move on.
yeah. Now, I want to see. Of course, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of musicals, but what I'm looking forward to seeing here is now the perspective and how Wanda's character is going to be changed within this episode, right? Does, having a difference, I don't know how to explain it, like she was watching musicals her whole life and she lives in a musical world and whatever it may be. I don't know the entire details behind the episode, so don't quote me on how it's going to develop, but I'm curious if it changes her, right? To see.
Right. Yeah. How it affects her, moving forward. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. When saying, yeah, what ifs are whatever, let them have a musical. Could be fun. Yes, and we're even going to be getting a Happy Hogan Christmas episode. So there's that too, which I'm pretty pumped about. So yeah, cool little
Nice.
updates here about this season 2 of What If. Now, I think this is very interesting. Brian, did you have the opportunity to watch Werewolf by Night last year when it came out?
I did. I thought it was one. It's been one of the best Marvel shows that have been on Disney Plus. Although it was, kind of a one shot, right? A
Yep.
special.
Special
Uh, it,
presentation.
it- yeah, I thought it was done really well.
Likewise. Now, Werewolf by Night gets a colorized re-release for Halloween 2023, just in time, and it's around the corner, right? It's crazy to think summer came and went so fast. We're already approaching
Right.
Halloween in a little over a month's time. Yeah, do you have your costume yet? Do you have your costume yet?
I do not. I do not.
But yeah, so they're going to be re-releasing this in color. Now, I agree with you at 1,000%. I think that the special presentation for Werewolf by Night, which we got to see, the introduction of Elsa Bloodstone, we saw Man Thing, um, but now we're going to be seeing this entire special presentation in color. I thought the black and white effect really made an impact to the entire
Right.
thing. I thought it was,
It definitely added. You kind of got that old school feel of when watching it.
yeah, exactly. It felt so fitting for what we were watching. So I don't know how the color stuff is going to play out, but definitely looking forward to it. Now, special presentations, as you were just saying, I think this is such a great approach for everything Marvel is looking to develop, right? I know we're getting a lot of shows, we're getting a lot of, Disney Plus series and so forth. Not that they were bad, like She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, all of that fun stuff. But I think it's a good opportunity to bring in some new characters, just set them up into the MCU, right? With a one special presentation, give it an hour, and whatever it may be.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. And they hit a home run with this, right? I mean, I mean, I don't think I really heard too many bad things about this special. It really most everybody liked it, enjoyed it. So I think maybe they're trying to double down on that success and saying, all right, well, we're not going to do a new one. We'll put this one out in color and see what happens.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I imagine also with everything going on, it's not a bad idea to do this. But back to special presentations and developing within the MCU, I feel like the MCU has an opportunity to go back to that well and definitely continue doing so. I know there was rumors about having Nova done as a special presentation, which I thought would have been great. In fact, if they want to develop a lot of cosmic characters in that manner, I think it would be an awesome opportunity to do something along the lines of Nova, maybe get Quasar, Moondragon. We can keep going, and then we can set up Annihilation, right? I think that would be cool. Um,
Yeah, no, I think that's a good way. And two, they're kind of testing the waters, right, without sinking into a future, a feature length film, that they can kind of do it on a smaller scale, and then see how the audience reacts to the new characters that they're introducing. So
Yeah. Comic Nation US is saying, I think we're going to see more remastered, altered releases with the strikes lasting 14 years. Yeah, no, that's exactly it. And I don't know if this was already planned out prior to that, but yeah, Dazzler special. We Taylor Swift's commitment, if that's true, of course. But yeah, so like we were just saying, the delays right now with everything going on. I don't know if this was pre-planned or if this is just impulsive decision right now by Disney, but it'll be interesting to see. Regardless, I'm definitely gonna watch it again. It was great, as you said. Black and white definitely made the impact, but I'm just excited to rewatch it again. I'm actually gonna hold off till Halloween and watch it in color.
yeah, and I think they may have that where it's kind of a one of those Halloween type shows that you watch every year. We have my family and I have some ones, Christmas type movies that we like to watch during Christmas time. So
Yeah,
this could be one of those movies that becomes the what was the Bette Midler Witches one.
yeah. Well, it's kind of like us. Whenever it's Christmas time, we automatically flock to Home Alone, right?
Yeah, Home Alone. Yeah, Home Alone and Elf are like our two go tos.
Elf as well, yes. One less popular one, but for some reason I find absolutely hilarious is Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yeah,
It's a kid movie, but it's just his one-liners, like when he gets mad,
yeah.
when the guy's eating his wife's cookie, and it's a physical cookie. Don't get
Yes,
perverted,
yes,
guys,
yes.
in the chat. But yeah, he just screams like, "Put that cookie down!" It's just hilarious.
And
Um,
it has Sinbad in it, so I mean, it can't be wrong.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sinbad. Yes. Oh man, I could go on forever with the one lines from that movie, but yeah. So back to this, Werewolf by Night gets a colorized re-release for Halloween 2023. I'm pumped. All right, Brian, that was pretty much it. Quick, speedy show, straight to the point. Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, that was painless.
Yeah, there you go. Unfortunately, we missed a bit of the football, but I think we're still in time to catch some of the end of it. But before we let everybody here in the chat go, definitely want to remind some people that DJ Links is going to be hopping on next Sunday, and that's going to be a fun episode. Don't forget to come and tune in, check that out, and yeah, Brian. So, any updates on your end? What's up and coming for you, sir?
Well, like we talked a little bit about, I'm in the middle of a move, so but I have a bunch of, some pre-recorded videos set up on the channel for the next couple weeks. And I do a live stream every Saturday, Breakfast with Brian, Saturday
Yes.
morning, 10 a.m. Saturday. So if somebody's awake and wants to come hang out on Saturday, come join me. So we have a good group that hangs out with us on Saturday morning. So.
Brian, we need to speak about those tummies because they get me every time. I wake up on Saturday mornings and you've got like the best displays of like pancake breakfast. You've got the bacon out there, the toast. I look at my wife on Saturday mornings. I'm like, so today we're having pancakes.
Yeah,
It's good,
Sunday.
Brian.
Sunday, I make pancakes every Sunday in the house. That's I get up, make breakfast, and it's pancakes every Sunday.
Oh, so it's ritual, right? It's kind of
Yes.
like
Oh yeah.
us Italians. It's ritual with pasta on Sunday. So you need the sauce, and it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so I appreciate you coming to swing by. And of course, guys, the voting ends on November 18, as you heard Brian saying earlier. So definitely go vote for your favorites. Lots of cool categories to vote for. And like you heard the man say at the beginning here, there's the pros to doing what he's doing. Unfortunately, there's some of the cons. Guys, keep it clean, man. The guys, I'm just speaking from my perspective, Brian. I thank you for what you're doing.
I
I know
appreciate it.
I know this comes with just good intent out the gate, right? You did this for, like you said earlier, the love of the hobby. This is what we're all here for, and it's unfortunate to see even some of the things I'm seeing across other channels. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
leave.
like I said, I try not. I appreciate it. Thank you. I try not to listen to it, but if people have feedback, just reach out to me directly. I've already have a list of ideas and suggestions for next year. So, I want it to be a community event. So if you have an idea or feedback, suggestion, whatever it is, just let me know, and we'll put it in the mix for for next year. So.
Yep. There you go. And one last thing before we go, Michael Baker, that's right. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, the Comic Kingpins are going to be going live doing the Retrospect, which is also nominated for Best Spec Show on YouTube. So definitely
Yes.
go check that out. Brian, thank you once again. I believe we're at, it's the third quarter, 12 minutes, 52 seconds left. So we're in good time, guys. I appreciate everybody for taking a moment to come and watch this show. Brian, especially you, keep doing what you're doing, keep hustling, and thank you so much for joining tonight. Guys, don't forget, come tune back in next Sunday. Until then, arrivederci.